What's going on, guys? Hope you're doing great. Good morning to you if this is the morning. Good evening if you're watching this or listening to this at night before you go to bed and you're hoping that I'm going to tuck you into some sweet dreams. Well, in this episode, I think I might give you some really cool stuff here. Hopefully, I've given you some good stuff over the past couple of weeks, months, years. Anyways, what I want to talk about today are the two missing pieces to creating breakthrough results for your clients. And the reason I'm going to share some stuff on my iPad on the screen here, so if you're watching this, you're going to see what I'm going to show you in just a moment. If you're listening to this, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see it, so you may want to hunt this down on the YouTube channel. If you're not following me on YouTube, go to Healthpreneur or just type in Healthpreneur and you'll find the channel. Anyways, so here's why this is important. You will get to a point in business where the most important thing you have to focus on and obsess about is keeping clients. Right? It's no longer about getting more clients because, yes, that's important. But I think there's a really, really big pivot that needs to happen mentally when you hit a certain point in business where the focus needs to move away from acquisition and more on retention. And I actually just posted something on my Facebook profile this morning, and I'll actually show this to you. I actually shared this at a mastermind last week, and let me share this with you as well. So this kind of looks like one of those Star Wars things. Like, I don't even know what they're called. You know those Star Wars flying things? I don't even know. Okay, anyways, so when you are starting your business, and I'll just put this as mature over here, and hopefully you can see that. That makes a bit more sense. Okay, so here's what happens is initially the focus when you're growing your business has to be in this big area here, this big area that I'm highlighting in green. This focus needs to be S&M. Now I know, actually, you know what? I know that sounds really, probably not the way I intended it to. Sales and marketing, okay? Not get your head out of the gutter, it's not the other thing. So your number one focus initially when you're starting your business needs to be on sales and marketing because that's how you build a business. If you don't make money, you can't have a business. I hope you understand that, okay? So sales and marketing, very, very important. And I would say up until the point of about 500K in revenue, okay? So that needs to be the major focus of your business to at least $500,000. By that point, you should have a couple things figured out. You've got a pipeline that's bringing clients in. You've got some stuff dialed in. Awesome. At that point, now beyond like systems and operations and stuff like that, I want to give you a mindset shift that is very important. So right here, you know what, let me do this. Let's say the middle point here, we'll call that 500K in revenue, okay? So up until that point, your focus is on sales and marketing, and a smaller percent is on the actual delivery, right? So your program, the coaching, the quote unquote product. But what happens is as you mature, as your business matures, the shift then, and I believe this should happen, and it doesn't always, which is why a lot of businesses struggle, is they continue to focus on acquisition, sales and marketing, which is great. But here's the thing, and the big distinction here is that the bulk of your focus as the leader of your business, I really believe this, needs to be focused on delivery, okay? The reason this is important is that when you're starting, your program needs to be an MVP, right? Minimum viable product. It doesn't need to be perfect, and allow yourself not to allow it to be perfect. Give yourself time, put it out to the marketplace, get feedback from your clients. Now you'll know how to make it better. Like if you've not been in our HBA program, then it's kind of tough to give you some context around this. But if you're watching this or listening to this and you've been in our program, then you know how it's evolved over time, right? And the reason it's evolved over time is because my focus personally, like our team obviously has their areas of focus, but for me, it's going deep into the program. It's like, okay, how do we make these trainings better, more clear? How do we help the review process so that's more streamlined, it's faster, helping you guys win quicker, getting less stuck? These are all the things that I think about. And that's because I don't have to think as much on the acquisition side of things because we have that kind of dialed in. Because I recognize that And here's why this is important to your business. The better, okay, let me put it this way. If your program was as good as you say it is, would you ever lose a client? And I don't think the answer to that is, I think the answer to that would be a no. Now, not everyone's going to stay with you forever, but I believe if you can create value continuously for your clients, why would they leave, right? So that goes back to thinking, well, how do we continually make the delivery as amazing as possible? And understanding that it's not going to be perfect from day one, because if you're only focused on your product from day one, you don't have a business, you don't have any revenue, you're going to be done. You have to make money and then make your program better over time. Your program is good enough to start, okay? Please remember that. It is good enough to help people, and it will get better over time. So like with HBA, it started off as a 2-day live intensive workshop. That's how we started it. And now it's like a 6-month in the trenches implementation and coaching program that is very different than what it started out to be. So anyways, so that's kind of an initial framework, okay? Now with that said, if you can get your clients better results, then that's great for them and it's great for your business, right? But here's the challenge, and this is another reason why I'm not a huge fan of information. So there are 3 levels to helping people achieve a result. As a leader, your goal, as an expert, your goal is to help people along these 3 paths, okay? So the first thing we need to do as a leader, and this is within your business as well as what you're helping your clients through, is number 1, you have to help them identify, you have to help them be effective. And what effective means is what to do. That's important because you are an expert in your field and people come to you because they're not sure what to do, right? And I think the level of expertise that someone has is very highly correlated with their effectiveness in terms of their approach with their clients. So when people come to us, we don't tell them to blog, we don't tell them to do social media, we don't tell them to do speaking gigs, we don't tell them to do any of that stuff because it's not effective. So in my experience and my wisdom, what I'm able to impart on our clients is to say, hey, listen, if you want set results, the most effective way to get there is to do this. We're going to build out your perfect client pipeline. That's the only thing you're going to focus on. Newsletters, who cares? Facebook groups, doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. Now, someone else, their quote-unquote effective approach might be teaching something different. So how do you know which one makes the most sense? Well, you just look at the results, right? If someone's telling you to blog as their approach, they're saying, here's my effective, is what to do is blog. Great. What are the expected results from that process versus someone else who might have a different approach? So your goal as the expert is to give your clients effectiveness, which is here's what to do and what not to do, okay? Now that's the first level, and quite honestly, the reason I don't think most programs, especially courses, produce results is because they stop there. Here's what to do. Go do it, right? You do a course, you watch some videos, you know what to do, you try to implement it. The next 2 rungs in this journey, I think, are super important for your clients' results. And this will tie back into you helping your clients create better results, and then you as a business helping your clients at a greater level, but also them staying with you longer, which is good for your business. So if effectiveness is what to do, then the next level is efficiency. And efficiency answers the question, how to do it. And this, again, as I'm moving up this little triangle here, this is really where you start to see a separation in expertise. So effective is, yeah, here, let's use an example of phone sales. Yeah, great. Get people on the phone. That's what you're going to do to enroll them in your coaching program. Now, one person might say, here's how to do it, right? Another person might say, here's how to do it in my world. And what's the difference? Well, the difference is the nuances, right? It's the nuances in how to do the thing you need to do. People come to us and they're like, yeah, like I got a webinar. I'm like, great. You have step 1. You have the thing. but you are nowhere near mastering the webinar, because if you had it cranking, we wouldn't be speaking. So what we do in that case is a person comes in, they already have their webinar, because a webinar is part of what we teach. Well, we show you how to do it properly, right? Because there's a webinar and then there's a good webinar, and there's a very big difference. There's a Facebook ad and there's a really good Facebook ad. There is how to get on the phone with someone, and then there is how to get on the phone with someone so they actually give you money. So those nuances are in the second stage here, which is efficiency, is learning how to do it right. Make sense? So effectiveness is what to do. Efficiency is how to do it the right way. Now, the third, and this is a realization I've had with our clients the last couple of months, is that it's okay to say, listen, here's how to do it. But if you want to get breakthrough results for your clients, and again, this comes from my thinking to look at our clients and thinking to myself, how do we help every single one of them win? Not just like some of them, but every one of them. Listen, is everyone going to get results? No, that's just the way it is, right? But if we can help more of them get results, then this is going to be good. So we have effective, we have efficiency, or efficient. So let me just change that. And then the top level is proficient. So proficient means, so if we looked at the bottom, what to do, second level is how to do it. The top now is how to do it better. So I'll just put how to do it right as efficient. So this is really where I believe the big separation lies. And this has been a big shift for me personally in the last couple of months, is instead of teaching new stuff, is going really deep and mastering the select few. So in HBA, as well as our Luminaries Masterminds, we've had a little bit of a shift in the last little while where it's about how do we take what we're doing and drill it, like practice it, create an environment where we can do enrollment calls, practice sessions, drilling certain ways of having conversations. Because if you do that, then you get to do it better. And proficiency is also, you can call that mastery, if you will. Proficiency takes a lot of time, right? But you can't get to proficient if you don't practice. So effective at the bottom is identifying, okay, what are we going to do? Efficiency is here's how to do it right, and proficiency is how to do it better. And how we do things better is by, first and foremost, making sure you're doing the right thing, right? And then drilling it. Repetition, 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 repetition. And so this, if you can drill repetition and skill development into your program with your clients, they will get better results. And if they get better results, that's good for them and it's good for you. So I want you to think about in your coaching program, what are the one or two things that someone really needs to master that if they get that figured out will make a huge difference with their outcomes. In our case, it's ad copy or messaging and phone sales. So we are drilling on that stuff, and we're going to continue to do so at a higher frequency with our clients so that they have increased opportunities to practice, 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 and put in the reps and get feedback, so that when they are on the phone with their clients, they feel more confident, they feel more competent to know what to say, know how to lead a conversation, to ideally enrolling the right people, okay? So the two missing pieces in this case, just going back to the title of this episode, the two missing pieces are 2 and 3, the efficient piece and the proficient piece. Most people that go through a course go through it and they're like, well, what do I do, right? That's what most products, programs address. But if you want to create amazing results for your clients, you got to add in level 2 and 3. You have to show them how to do it right. And that goes back to a very important discussion we need to have maybe in another episode is don't teach stuff you haven't done, right? There are a lot of quote unquote business coaches out there who have a very, very, very small track record. Be very careful who you listen to, okay? So efficiency comes down to how to do it right, and that comes from experience and expertise and having walked the path. And proficiency is having the right setup where you can drill and practice those skills consistently so they become second nature. Does that make sense? Anyways, yeah, so that's the 3-pronged approach. I shared this at a mastermind last week. Everyone was like, man, this is really cool. Hopefully this serves you as well. Listen, if you want our help to become more proficient in enrolling clients, if you want to be more proficient in generating leads on demand, and obviously your best clients, people who don't even know you otherwise, that's what we do all day, every day, right? And we do that through a process we call the Perfect Client Pipeline. If that's of interest to you, here's what I'd love for you to do. Go to workwithyuri.com, so workwithyuri.com, and on that page, you'll just answer a few questions about your business so we can get a better sense of where you're at and how we can help you. Once you've done that, then you can book in a call with us, and we will literally do a free business audit for your business. We'll look at what's going on, what isn't working, where your business is bleeding money, because it is. We're all businesses are bleeding money in some way, shape, or form. And we'll look at how we can fix that by putting together a customized game plan for your specific situation. Is it going to be a hard pitch to join and work with us? No, right? It's not at all. But if you do want our help, and if you're a good fit to work with us, we can certainly tell you about what the next step would look like. And if not, that's totally fine as well. At least you'll part with more clarity and a good game plan. Cool. So that's all for today. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. And for now, if you enjoy making more money and helping people, go to workwithyuri.com, and I'll see you then.